Okay, so in today's class we're going to take this pattern we just made, this A-line skirt, and we're going to add a style line and design a yoke. What is a yoke? By definition, the textbook says a yoke is the upper part of a garment. In this case, is the upper part of a skirt. And here are some examples. As you can see, there's different sizes, different shapes. So that's the upper part of the garment. The lower part, we're going to use our slash and spread technique to add fullness, which will become shirring or gathers, which will then be sewn to the yoke. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so here's the pattern that we drafted in last class. And by the way, I've stapled it to manila. So I now have a sloper of an A-line skirt. Very simple, very basic. Okay, I'm going to place my center front on one of these numbers or dots on the dotted paper. And I'm going to trace my pattern all the way around. Next, I'm going to create my yoke style line. And it's really up to you to decide what size, what shape. You can use your French curve to help you draw one, or a hip curve. So I'm going to do something like this. So there's my yoke line. I'm going to cut this pattern out and cut on the yoke line so I can separate my yoke from the rest of the skirt. Okay, I'm going to separate my yoke, put this aside for now, and for this section of the skirt, I'm going to slash and spread this section to add fullness to it. Next, I'm going to draw some guidelines from the yoke line down to the hemline, several of them. In this case, I'm going to do 4. Next, I'm going to cut on these guidelines and separate them. So I have slashed and spread my pattern to add fullness to this portion of the skirt. I have placed a piece of dotted paper underneath my original pattern pieces. And I have slashed and spread and added fullness. How much fullness is really up to you. I've added about 1.5 inches in between each piece, but it's really up to you how much fullness you want. Now, using our hip curve or French curve, we're going to blend our yoke line and the same thing with the hemline, so we have a nice smooth yoke line and hemline. Next, I'm going to cut out the pattern. Notice that the lower part of the skirt is much bigger because we've added fullness, and all this will be gathered to be sewn into the yoke like that. Welcome to Fashion Premier Academy. I will see you in class.